The Bonitas Wild Series proudly presents the Mont aux Challenge, brought to you by Bonitas Medical Fund and Sunday Tribune, as well as the Wildlands Conservation Trust. The magnificence of the Drakensberg Mountains, majestic from any angle. A World Heritage Site, and it's in this spectacular setting that the latest event on the Bonitas Wild Series calendar, the Bonitas Sunday Tribune Mont aux Challenge, takes place. With spring in the air, bringing it with it crisp, clear skies and warm weather. One of Ezemvelo KZN Wildlife's hidden gems, Mahai campsite in the Royal Natal National Park, deep in the Central Berg, was the destination for many of the lucky entrants who'd managed to snap up one of the most sought-after tickets in trail running. Just 320 runners have the privilege every year of taking on Monties. Registration took place down at the soccer field, where relaxed returning runners and nervous novices collected a well-stocked goodie bag and a race number and signed indemnity forms. And they discussed tactics for the next day. For the really nervous, there was the distraction of a big screen. The relaxed, convivial atmosphere continued through the afternoon and into the evening as runners gathered for the race briefing, where they were made aware of the incredible work being done by the Wildlands Conservation Trust, and in particular, the efforts being made to save the endangered bearded vulture. Wild child Heidi Carter-Brown took them through the route for the run. Many knew it well, others were a little nervous. Nerves that were no doubt settled by the veritable feast that was dinner. Runners piling on the pasta ahead of a strenuous day in the mountains. Dawn anywhere in Africa is special, but viewed from the ramparts of the Drakensberg, it is simply breathtaking. Time to lace up the shoes.
Looking forward to that. It's going to be nice and hot. We're going to have a lot of fun out there.
There was excitement in the air as the A-batch runners gravitated towards the start. For Monty's novice Jackie Moore, it was a special opportunity.
Morning, very well. A little bit fresh this morning, but all good and ready.
Okay, race number one is this week.
Number one, by complete fluke, I actually came up to support my husband and asked if there was any chance I could possibly get an entry at very last minute, and found someone that had dropped out. So very unexpected, last minute, spontaneous, so excited and looking forward to it.
Now for me today is like a new thing because I've never been on top, so that's going to be an amazing race for me. That's what I'm looking for, that's why I came back.
A last-minute briefing from Heidi Carter-Brown. The field split into 4 batches, leaving 5 minutes apart to avoid congestion on the narrow mountain paths. And the A batch were away. Among them seasoned Monty's regulars, former winners and a few virgins, all heading up the Mahai Valley and onto the escarpment, ultimately to the source of Tugela before beginning their return home. It's a toughie, 50 kilometres on mountain paths and of course up the famous chain ladders. A year ago, late snowfalls prevented the field going to the top and the route was shortened, but near-perfect weather in 2013 ensured they would get to see the rugged beauty of the Maluti Drakensberg Highlands at its best. 2012 winner Eric Ngubani suitably wrapped up against the early morning chill as they jogged up away from the camp. The amphitheatre spectacularly lit by the morning sunshine to their left. Trail running is vastly different to running on the road. Eyes down is the mantra, as a loose rock or a hole might just end your race. A long line of runners snaking upwards. Their collective goal, the plateau, some 3,000 metres above sea level, called Mont aux. The early pace being set by Robert Stewart with Eric Ngubani in his shadow. Jaco Smith was in third place. The trio continued to run together, content to keep a steady pace. The grueling nature sees them gain 700 metres over the first 9 k's.
The Mont aux Challenge, this is the 19th running of the event. There's about 320 people that have registered and are running the event, and the funds that are raised from this are predominantly used in a number of different projects, the most important being the bearded vulture. The Drakensberg Park is home to the majority of the bearded vulture in the country. There's only just over 300 bearded vulture left in the country. It's listed as critically endangered, and there's a lot of conservation work that needs to be done to look after the species. So this event really raises funds that are used in partnership with Ezemvelo KZN Wildlife to implement conservation projects, whether it's satellite tracking, fitting satellite transmitters to the birds to track them, to monitor the birds. And in that sense, it really adds a lot of value to the tourism potential and the conservation value that the Drakensberg Park actually provides.
Every runner was making a meaningful contribution to sustaining our environment. Back at the start, the rest of the batches are waiting their off.
Always wanted to do it ever since I found out about it. I've been on a waiting list for 3 years, so finally get the chance, so might as well come and soak it up, eh?
I wanted to conquer the top and get over, up the chain ladder and down the gully. I'm really excited for that.
The hooter, and off they went. Each batch allowed exactly 10 hours to complete the run. And in the long tradition of experienced distance runners, this batch employing that start slowly, end strongly strategy. And Ezemvelo KZN Wildlife Honorary Officer sets the fourth and last batch away. These runners would have to be back at the finish by 4:30 in the afternoon if they wanted to be counted among the rare breed of Mont aux Challenge finishers. This is what it's like on the trails. A visual feast for the runners, although they'd have to choose their viewing time carefully to avoid a fall. Breathtaking stuff.
The reason that the Sunday Tribune is involved here is that we run a feature every week called Lead Essay, in which we feature ordinary South Africans who do extraordinary things across all sorts of fields. And sport is just one of those. And in an event like this, we have ordinary South African citizens who do extraordinary things. And not just the people who run the race, but also all the organizers, the honorary officers, the fire people, the people who give massages, the green heroes. Everybody contributes to make this a sporting event for the benefit of conservation. And we, as the Sunday Tribune, are here to applaud them, to recognize them, and to bring them to the attention of the general community.
The Bonitas Wild Series is not only about giving fit, adventure-minded South Africans a chance to enjoy the spectacular beauty of some of our most remote conservation areas, it's also a vehicle for raising awareness in the communities closest to those areas. It's about the importance of a sustainable environment in which they could receive bicycles in exchange for their efforts in creating a greener environment.
Basically, we're having a big day out here, Royal Natal. We're involving the communities, local communities to participate here. This event was not going to be successful if it wasn't for our sponsors, NRTC, Bonitas, Old Mutual and Coca-Cola. So basically what we do here, we're selecting green leaders. We're also teaching them about the environment. Yes, because it is important that to educate our kids at young age so that they can actually grow with this, knowing how to take care of their environment.
While The children do team building exercises outside. The teachers are educated about how they can inspire the next generation to make a positive contribution to prolonging our natural heritage.
Well, I think that the Old Mutual involvement is very much in the community challenge, which is on the Thursday, and I think what Wildlands are doing is it's an environmental community partnership. So we're very much involved in the community partnership, which comes in on a Thursday, and we sponsor the schools. There's a race for the schools. It's an amazing day, and we sponsor all the prizes and the event. So really fantastic.
And then the children get to test themselves against one another on a short fun run.
For me, I think KZN Wildlife, or SMVelo KZN Wildlife and Wildlands Conservation Trust, I think we have a specific focus on the community involvement and community development. And I think these kind of events also do help to assist the community, to uplift the community, and also to get the community involved so that they feel part of the park management. So I think from that point of view, community is our focused and key stakeholder that we need to look after. And with this kind of event, I think they are involved. And I think for me, that's something that we need to pursue all the time.
The Green Champions rewarded with bikes at the end of an uplifting day. Back on the Bonitas Sunday Tribune Mont aux challenge, and Eric Ngubane was in full stride now, even taking time to take in the spectacular views. Stewart and Smith were now together in second place along the road from Vitsisuk to Sentinel Car Park, another 9k stretch with 300 metres of climbing. The cement path signals the approach of the zigzag footpath past Witches, the Sentinel and the Western Buttress. Jaco Smith now in second place. Further back, Adrian Adler and Alistair Leslie at the water point at Sentinel Car Park. The leading lady, Berg running legend Tracy Zunkel, showing most of the men how it's done. A mum of 3, Tracy lives in the Bergville-Winterton region of the Central Berg. The SMVelo KZN Wildlife Honorary Officers play a vital role in the event and at the parks.
Well, the reason why people become honorary officers in the first place is because they have a natural tendency to want to conserve things. And so they volunteer their time, their money, their petrol. It costs us a lot, actually, personally, to come and volunteer for an event like this. So in terms of time and money, that's the first contribution. Secondly, volunteering on an event like this enables organizations like Wildlands to help KZN Wildlife to raise funds for conservation. And this is our home reserve. We're the honorary officers of Royal Natal National Park. So we know that funds from this event are helping directly to save species like the bearded vulture from extinction. And that's why we're involved here specifically.
It's been hard work up here, but worth it, eh? Stunning morning, fantastic, beautiful views. We've seen the vulture. We saw the bearded vulture earlier, so it's all worth it. How's it going?
Good, thank you. Woo! Awesome. What a beautiful day.
Great. Oh, what a nice walk.
Enjoyable, amazing, and you feel very small in comparison to all of this.
The long and winding road, and it leads to a unique South African landmark. The chain ladders, up which the runners must climb. They're all required to wear a safety harness and sliding device attached to fixed ropes along the ladders. Peakai mountaineering guides assist them in getting attached and detached. Jaco Smith was first up, then Robert Stewart, followed by Eric Ngubane. Tracy Zunkel was inside the top 7 and met a friend at the top.
How are you, my friend? Has it been a long morning up here?
By now, the effects of the altitude would be kicking in. They'd climbed close to 1,400 meters. Petrus Rongwani from another Berg Resort, Mountain Splendor, enjoying a truly special event. Mont aux challenge offers runners a unique chance to get up close and personal with the beauty of Africa.
Yeah, I think I'm really happy. We've got a lot of new runners, a lot of old runners, guys coming out. You know, they do lots of training. You know, they're so excited and they train hard. So, you know, lots of pressure to really give them a perfect race. And yeah, today I just think we had perfect weather and the guys are just amazing. The atmosphere, our sponsors are here, you know, the honorary officers, and it's just really awesome day.
Once on top, they made their way across the fairly dry Tugela and towards the Sentinel Gully. For most, a chance to catch their breath. This is about as flat as it gets anywhere on the entire 50 Ks. What a special way to experience a truly beautiful park.
The park is called Maluti Drakensberg Park World Heritage Site, which incorporates part of Lesotho's Hlabathebe National Park. And the bearded vulture is an iconic species because it occurs both in South Africa and Lesotho. And what we're trying to achieve with the species itself is to try and make sure that we've got proper records in terms of monitoring so that we have an accurate information on its status. And most of the work that we've undertaken using the fund from this kind of event is mainly to make sure that we do an accurate and proper monitoring for the species.
The drop down the Sentinel Gully is rocky, steep and rough. Making use of the guide rope is important. Slow progress, as Anthony Bold shows, and our head cam shows just how steep it is. Marriott rock hopping, and McCrindle taking it more carefully. If you have a fear for heights, don't look left or down. Having got away from his climbing companions just after the chain ladders, Eric Ngubani was storming down the descent. Eric's from Cato Ridge is a sub-6-hour Comrades runner, having finished inside the top 20 last year. He's a class act. Jaco Smith was not so much chasing him as keeping a good pace on the return run. Rob Stewart and then Reino Grissel holding on to fourth. Tracy's uncle was 5th place overall as she went through Vincey's Hook. Sue Chapman was the second woman on the road. Day wore on, a strong wind came up and it blew Eric Ngubani through to the finish in a remarkable time of 4 hours 39 minutes, his second win in a row.
I'm very happy. Like last day I came here but I didn't do the full course. We turned there by the car park. Today it was a little bit challenge for me. It was 2 guys that was racing me hard to the top, and then there by the chain ladder I was dead. But I pushed hard from the top there. I ended up to caught them. They was walking already. And then I told them, the guys, let's go. But they didn't keep up with me. And then from there, I was leading the race until to the end.
Just under 23 minutes later, Jaco Smith home in second place. Not bad for Monty's novice.
Oh, awesome, eh? It's the most amazing feeling. This is my first time I ever came to Mont aux. And so yeah, coming second was just, I hoped for a top 10. Coming second was just one hell of a bonus.
Great run by Rob Stewart, third, 4.5 minutes behind Jaco.
Oh, it's an amazing challenge. It's probably one of the second hardest races you can do to Comrades. It's it's a huge challenge, and I expect that's, the achievement finishing, coming over the finish line. And that sense of achievement is what brings us back every year.
Jacques Mouton was fourth and Reino Grissel fifth, and behind him an amazing run by Tracy Zunkel to take 6th place overall.
Amazing. I can honestly say it's one of the best races I've ever run. It was my 6th, but I haven't done one for 7 years. So I've come back older and more mature, but loving it just as much.
Alistair Leslie with 9th. Sue Chapman was 17th overall, second woman home, less than a minute ahead of Melanie van Rooyen.
Oh, this is probably one of my most favourite races on the calendar. I come back every year. This is my 8th one. I used to come here on family holidays once a year in April growing up, so it's like my back garden. I love it. We now come back in December for 3 weeks camping with my 2 young girls, and I hope they grow to love the mountains like me and my husband do.
Yes, it's fantastic. I had a very nice day. It's always a tough run. I think one's short-term memory somehow fails. I don't know why, but one forgets how difficult this run is. But yeah, it was starting to get hot out there towards the end, but I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Up in the mountains, there were still runners heading for the finish.
Great. The air is thin out there, that's all I can say. And the down is tough going on the decks, but other than that, views are beautiful.
It was amazing. It was lovely. Really cool. Nice to get to the top and finally be going down.
Spectacular. Saw some bearded vultures. Oh man, absolutely awesome. Awesome. And the weather is fantastic.
The children of Vitsisuk went out of their way to make the runners feel welcome.
The Mont aux Challenge is really quite a unique event, and that's really the philosophy of the Wild Series events. We get people into really unique and fantastic parts of the world. The Royal Natal Park, run by Ismvelo Caves and Wildlife, is really one of those venues. We've had a fantastic day here. The weather has been glorious, been a bit windy, but I think everybody that's coming in, big smiles on their faces. They've really enjoyed the event. A lot of tired bodies, but climbing more than 1,500 meters up and down is quite an effort, and hats off to them. They've really thoroughly enjoyed it. The weather's played ball, and overall I think the event has been an absolute success, and after the 19th running it can only get better.
Through the afternoon, runners making their way back to the finish, where the clock was ticking towards that 10-hour cutoff. Ross and Laura O'Donoghue finished well inside that in just under 6.5 hours.
Sure, it was a very tough day. We climbed and climbed, but sure, it was the most magnificent day. The organisers have done such a great job. Yeah, we had an awesome day.
Lauren Callenborn home in 6:44. Nico Wasserfall in 7:54. He was pretty chuffed, you could say.
Powerade and Coca-Cola involvement with this event stems from the inception of this race. We are the only sponsor still remaining, providing the services of refreshment tables to all 4 water tables on top of the mountain. All runners who complete this challenge are rest assured that they are well hydrated at the completion of this race. Powerade, bring it on.
How was your race?
Good. I really enjoyed it.
I lived here for a time, a few years back, probably about 15 years ago, and I fell in love with the Berg, and I continue to come back. I also come back because I believe Wildlands are doing a good job, and because of the job they're doing, I can continue to come back, and I feel very privileged to be able to come back.
The Bonitas Kids Zone is just one of the features that makes the Mont aux Challenge so enjoyable.
Yeah, no, we've got a fantastic team at Monty's, and it just makes it just one of those really enjoyable events. And we've got the honorary officers that's out there from 2 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night helping out. We've got the guys from Ismvelo Wildlife and my whole Wildlands team. It's just really nice to work with an amazing group of people. We've got our sponsors out supporting the guys and welcoming them home. So yeah, it's just such a nice race to be involved with everybody and have such great support. You can find all our information on the Wild Series website. Our first event next year start off with 3 Cranes Challenge. It's quite a tough one in February. And then we've got a Giants Castle mountain biking challenge followed by some Kanda. Infolozi, Montes, and then Golden Gate. But all the information's on the website. Go and find out and sign up.
Veronica and Koos Kutsia missed the 10-hour cutoff, but still made it home just before dark. Confirming a quite remarkable run by Eric and Gubani, the top 13 runners all went under 6 hours for the grueling 50-kilometre run. Tracy Zunkel was the only woman to dip under 6 hours. Belinda van der Riet from Cathedral Peak swapping her mountain bike for running shoes with great success. Bonitas Sunday Tribune Mont aux Challenge is up there with the very best trail running experiences in South Africa. Get your shoes on and start training for the 20th edition in 2014, so you too can bask in the glow of satisfaction at the evening prize giving, where war stories are swapped deep into the night. Eric Ngubane collected his second Montes Rock. And there were some wonderful lucky draw prizes as well, ending a truly special weekend in the mountains. The Bonitas Wild Series proudly brought you the Mont aux Challenge. Presented by Bonitas Medical Fund, Sunday Tribune and the Wildlands Conservation Trust.